All right, it is the Downbeach Buzz podcast for July 24, 2025, with the amazing Sherry Lilienfeld of eXp Realty. And the podcast also brought to you by Paul Scollage and Rate.com.
I can't wait to see these slides. Oh my God, thank you. That's a surprise. Hi, Tilly.
Identify from left to right, who are these individuals in this awesome slide?
Pass.
No, come on. You know the first one on the far left, wearing the Kangol hat.
Is that Party Marty?
That is Marty. That's the mayor of Atlantic City, Marty Small. Who's the gentleman in between the two law enforcement officers, the very handsome man with the beard?
Please do say.
You know who that is because you used to pay taxes based on what he thought you should pay. The county commissioner of Cape May County and the mayor of Sea Isle City, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Len Desiderio.
Oh, right. Yes, because I used to own in Sea Isle and pay my taxes to the mayor of Sea Isle. Yeah, I've heard his name so many times, but obviously if I fell on him, I wouldn't know it.
Listen. So, I have a kind of a bromance with Len Desiderio. And you know why I keep on bringing him up?
Because he's been the mayor of that town for so long.
But what's the one thing that he has in common with like Mayor Collins of Margate? What's the thing he doesn't like doing too much of?
Having full disclosure at the council meetings where they're on Zoom and people can comment and listen and people are educated and aware of what's going on in their town. And that is super important. 100% agree.
Who's the mermaid and who is the mermaid standing next to on this slide, Miss Sherry Lilienfeld?
So the mermaid would be me. Me with my red hair. And that is Commissioner Horn, Kathy Horn.
Because most people have no idea who the mayor and the commissioners are. I guarantee you so few people know who's who. But you and I are going to educate people and get them familiar with our wonderful leadership down here.
That is a super good point. You're right. Most people don't know. Look, how I owned in Sea Isle City for 20 years, and I couldn't even tell you that was the mayor, right? So that is a very good point. Like most people don't know unless you start going to meetings and paying attention. You really don't know.
They can walk right past you and you have no idea that's the mayor, that's the commissioner, that's the police chief. And because 75% of the seashore, they're second homeowners, and they come down and have a good time. They're not really trying to figure out who's who. I think between you and I, we've done a pretty good job. And there you go, Kathy Horn. She's also the Commissioner of Public Safety, and she works for the Atlantic City School Systems.
I knew Commissioner Horn before she was a commissioner because my kids were in the school system.
All right. And the very next slide is an important one. So think long and hard before you comment on this, okay?
Oh my gosh. What is your point here? Clean and safe. Okay. Well, I do recognize Mayor Small. He's the one next to the twerker. He's the second one from the left as you're facing this.
It's exciting. I think we're getting down to the deadline here. The trial has been scheduled for September 15, 2025, 9:30 a.m. Roger McLarnon, representing the beautiful town of Margate, versus our man, Steve Baglivo. They're fighting about that Margate Gardens court battle all this time. But I'm telling you, the attorneys are racking up some big billable hours. And the Margate taxpayers, based on our research, they seem to be okay with just drag this out, keep on doing the billable hours. Would you agree, Sher? Do you enjoy seeing these things drag out on your dime?
Well, obviously, no, I don't agree. I don't feel good seeing the dollars rack up. I also don't like that it got to this point that it had to go to trial. And obviously, the system failed somewhere where, what they're accusing Baglivo is building something that wasn't approved. How something can get built to completion and you're not aware until neighbors complain, which is really what happened. And anyone that was aware, it was approved for 6 units and their belief was he built 12. How does that happen with all the inspections that happen? So to me, I'm more annoyed that it gets to this point. But yeah, total waste of money. And it's not good for the city. yeah, I don't know how it happens. And if you think about it, if it happened with Steve Baglivo, how many other builders are building whatever they want without it being
Jeez, yeah.
inspected properly? That's the other thing. Like, how does it get to this point? I look at systems, right? Something's broke in the system that made it get to this point. It's not just this is a problem. This is a symptom of a problem.
Mayor Marty Small and his beautiful, lovely wife, LaQuetta Small. They're there in the back. We're looking at, I think that's Pacific Avenue, if I'm not mistaken. But sure, take a look on the left-hand side of this picture. You see Delilah's Den. Are you up to date? Because I have some new information about Delilah's Den, the former strip club right behind Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall. And is that there was an online auction for the property formerly known as Delilah's Den. Currently, for the past 4 years, owned by the CRDA, the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority. Our good friend Lance Landgraf, intimately involved with that organization. So 4 years ago, the CRDA, in their wisdom, using tax dollars, casino tax dollars, I guess, they bought this property right behind Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. They bought it for $1.5 million, I believe. Then they have had auctions over the years, and they get maybe as high as $350,000 to get rid of it because nobody was developing it. And for the past 3 days, to make my point again, another auction happened starting this past Monday. It ended yesterday, totally online. And they were looking for, I guess, I don't know, but they have not announced. They said that it has been awarded, but they haven't announced the terms or the pricing. So that sounds kind of suspicious. Delilah's Den, that building. What would you do if money wasn't an issue, Sharon? You know the issue there. What would you do with that building?
Knock it down and build something nice. It is by Boardwalk Hall, which is a landmark place for Atlantic City. As we all know, Miss America pageants used to take place there. Like, really, this whole Pacific Avenue corridor should be built up nice. It shouldn't be a place where people walk the streets, so to speak. And it really needs to be cleaned up. What would be nice is if a developer comes in and actually cleans it up and puts some nice retail there and nice apartments there. We need to get rid of some of this older real estate in Atlantic City and put some nice new buildings there. Your thoughts?
Okay, I'm done with looking at these two idiots because you cannot have Atlantic City will never, ever turn around with Mayor Marty Small as the mayor and his wife, LaQuetta Small, in charge of the entire school district. Atlantic City will never turn around with people like that in charge. They together, they control about $500 million in tax revenue when you combine the school system and the mayor, whatever he does. You can't have these two lunkheads who are currently facing time, maybe getting kicked off their jobs or maybe put to jail or whatever for the alleged beating of their daughter. People should be talking about that every day. These two idiots have to go. And if they stay in place, Atlantic City will never return. And we all know that, but we're too afraid to talk about it.
I'm so glad that you don't hold back and are very free to express your opinions. But you're right. I mean, that's why people like to watch the Downbeach Buzz, because you say what a lot of people want to say. So yes, thank you for that. Yet more needs to be done. And I know when you talk about me selling real estate in the Downbeach area, I do sell in Atlantic City too, and I have been selling for years. Matter of fact, one of my bigger clients used to buy and sell rooming houses in Atlantic City. So I'm very aware of all types of businesses in Atlantic City, and dealing with rooming houses is very interesting and eye-opening. But I have to tell you, sometimes I drive there through Atlantic City during the day, and I'm a little bit like, wow, like why is this so dirty and scary? Like, there's parts that are scary, and like I said, I was in and out of rooming houses selling them with the client, yet I still get a little nervous going into Atlantic City now. It just is not looking good. It needs to be cleaned up, and you're 100% right. And I think people are wondering, like, this has been going on about them being, this court case with their daughter. Like, what is happening with that? Why is that taking so long?